Welcome back to Ozarks Live. We're once again here to talk all things Survivor.
Yes, and we are getting so close to the end.
We are, and it's
very
really
exciting.
It is, and I love how we're getting to know players so much on a deeper level,
Yes.
or a few of them anyway.
Yes.
And this last episode, Danny
Yeah.
felt like he got some healing. Tell us about that.
Yes.
This
so
was amazing.
yeah, so Danny is out on the island. Obviously, it's like day 20. He wakes up and he pulls Deshawn aside and he's like, "Hey, you're my close ally in this game, and so I entrust you to say this. Today is the 25th anniversary of my father's death." And so he talks about how when he was 8 years old, his dad died in a car accident, which is awful.
Yeah.
And basically, he's always felt these feelings of abandonment since he was 8 years old, and like this anger towards his dad because he felt like he was left as a young boy. And every young boy wants their father, typically, you know, stuff like that. But he has this beautiful moment where he tells Deshawn, he says in his interview, he's like, you know, through being out here and being on this island where all I have is my thoughts, you know, I can't run away from it, I can't keep myself busy. I found
what do you
healing
do
through
on
that.
an island? You
Yeah.
have to sit there and you have no escape really.
Yeah,
from
there's
those
nowhere to go
thoughts.
but, you know, your thoughts. So, yeah, so he talks about this beautiful moment where now he feels like he is healing from kind of being out there and thinking on it and thinking about his childhood without his dad and stuff. And now he mentions that he wants to go and visit his dad's grave as much as possible. So it's this really beautiful just kind of moment all the way around. And I think that's the beauty of Survivor right there is like people can actually take their real world problems and like fix them out there potentially, you know, or like face those demons that they haven't maybe faced in their life.
Do you feel like they're doing that a lot more on this season than in the past?
Yeah,
Because
I would
I
say-
feel like that, but I haven't dug into it like you have.
Yeah, I would say it's edited a lot more like that. I would argue that I'm sure that in the past players have probably dealt with the same thing. You know, I mean,
It's all in the editing.
yeah,
You
and
can change
typically,
everything. Yeah,
right, and
that's
typically
true.
they're out there for 39 days. So I mean, that's almost, you know, a month and a half that you're out there. So I'm sure other people have gone through those kind of similar experiences, but it's not highlighted as much.
Yeah. Well, we get to the immunity challenge then, and Jeff announces a new do or die twist. So you
Yes.
can choose to not compete in the immunity challenge, but if you do and are first out, then you're automatically the victim of this do or die twist. These twists, I gotta say, are sometimes losing me a little bit. I mean, this one, I stayed with it, but it's just like, okay, now I gotta really pay attention to what's going on, you know?
Yeah, so I honestly, I'll say, I was telling Cami, I'm not really a fan of this twist. I didn't think it was super exciting, and I felt like it took a lot of drama in the episode, and like I wish I could have just like seen more about the players with this specific one. So essentially what happens is the first one out, like you said, is the victim of this do or die twist. So once they get to tribal council, they have to participate in some game. They have no idea what the game is until they get there. And if they lose the game for whatever that means, then they're automatically out. Now, if they win this little do or die twist, then they get to go back and sit with the cast and they're automatically safe from the vote that they'll have to do. So
So a little bit of that is just left to chance then.
Yeah.
Because this is like they're kind of opening this thing and they either get a skull
Yeah.
or they get a fire, and that was completely up to chance, which you and I don't really like that. That's not
No.
a game. That's not competing. That's just chance.
Yeah, and it was weird. And so like Danny ends up winning immunity, which is great, especially because we just talked about his story. And
Right.
It was the same day, so for me it was a really beautiful moment to kind of watch as a fan.
Yeah.
Deshawn ends up being first out, so now he's kind of this first victim of a do or die twist. And then there was a lot of kind of rumble back at camp, but a lot of it was like, okay, is Deshawn gonna win or is he gonna lose? And if he wins, who do we vote out? You know? And so that's what I thought was weird is it's like you go back and forth all day of like, you know, it's kind of like, would you
If
rather?
this,
Like, what are you
then
gonna do?
that.
Yeah. And I didn't really care for that. So then we get to tribal. The beautiful thing about tribal this time, though, is that kind of opens with this really open and honest conversation about being Black in America. And we've seen a lot of conversations this season with that between like Shane and Liana, and Deshawn and Danny, and Liana and Shane, which has been really nice to see.
Yeah, they're bringing up a lot of
Yeah.
emotion and a lot of issues. And again, that's something that I do love this season.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And so after this big open conversation, of course, we have to get back to the game, which is always, you know, kind of sad. You're like, dang it, that was such a good conversation, and now someone's going to get eliminated.
Yeah, right.
So Deshawn goes to do his do or die twist. Essentially what happens is he's faced with 3 cards. 2 have skulls, 1 have a fire. If he picks the fire, he stays in the game. If he picks either of the skulls, he's automatically eliminated. Now, big shocker here. He picks the fire and he's safe.
Gets to stay, and not just stay, but they cannot vote him out. So it's actually a type of immunity. All of a sudden.
Yeah. And then Liana gets voted out. So Liana is done this season.
Yeah, you know, did you see that coming? I felt like
I don't know.
because Shane got voted out last
Yeah.
week and they had formed this alliance and everybody knew about it, it's kind of
Yeah.
like she was an easy target, is the only reason why I
Yes.
felt like it was obvious that she was leaving.
I was kind of hoping that she would band together with the kind of people that are on top now, so like Ricard, Xander, Heather, Erica. I think the issue is Liana kind of burned a lot of bridges when she banned with Danny, Deshawn, and Shan.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of hurt her ultimately. I don't know. But a couple thoughts I have on the rest of the season. One, I think a man will win because here's the deal. I would be so shocked if Heather or Erica win.
I can't believe they're still in the game.
Exactly. It's like you almost forget that they're there.
Which is why they've kind of slid into it. But
Yeah.
so who? Do you have a pick?
I don't know. I really think it's going to be Xander or Ricard. I kind of hope it's Xander, but I don't know. They both can make really good cases in the end. So.
I think Xander is changing the game. I read an article the other day about that. We can get into that maybe another week.
Yeah.
So he has a really good chance, in my opinion. But man, I'm still rooting for Danny.
Yeah.
What is it about Danny? I just love him.
I think he's going to be one of America's favorites. He's just such a good person, which is kind of hard to find sometimes
Just
in this
low
game.
drama, and you know I hate those the extra
Yes.
drama. I
Yeah,
do.
absolutely. So really fast, I wanted to point out there is this really cool digital series called Ponderosa, where all of the castaways that are eliminated thus far in the jury go to this other island. And you can find that on Survivor social media as well as on their website, and you can catch all those videos. It's really cool. It's just 10 minutes, and they kind of talk about their take on the game, what they've done, and just share their experiences. So.
Yeah, I love the behind the scenes information, and you get some of that with that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, hey, that is all for this time. So as always, you can catch new episodes of Survivor every week right here on Color 10, or you can catch up on the current season and all the past seasons, all 40, on Paramount Plus and CBS.com.
That's right. We'll be right back.